You already know we are back, ladies and gents. Just ignore the fact that we may have skipped the recap of week 5. Some of us in this channel may have been getting married, okay? Let's just say, terrible week 5, by the way. I sucked. Sucked hard, but I did still at least circle my picks here for week 6, and it was a great week here for me. Week 5, I was 8 and 6. I was actually ended up being 11 and 4 in week number 6. So great week. That brings us overall to 60 and 33, which let me tell you, this is going to be 90% better, 90 times better than any of those football analysts you see on TV. I'll just tell you that right now. Those people can't pick a game to save their lives. Um, So, anyways, glad it worked out that way. A couple things that stuck out for me week 6. The Falcons stink. Just being real, just the pass game's not there. It's just bad. Ritter's not the guy. He's not their guy. They got to get someone else. Kirk Cousins maybe. They got to get rid of him. Um, the two unbeatens got defeated. Browns with PJ Walker beat the 49ers. It's just fantastic defense, by the Browns. Fantastic defense. Um, and same for the Jets. Defenses this year are just playing out of their minds. I will tell you that. I see a lot of fantastic defenses showing up just around the league, and the Jets and the Browns being one of them, where the offenses have been pretty lackluster to start the year. Obviously, both of them missing starting quarterbacks. The Browns missing their starting running back. And arguably, probably one of the best top 3 running back in the league for sure with Nick Chubb, probably the second best behind McCaffrey. But yeah, I mean it's tough, and here they are winning games. At 3-2, kind of impressive, And the Chargers just stink. They continue to choke. Brandon Staley's got to go. He sucks. So let's get into Week 7, which has some tough games, let me tell you. Definitely, I feel like it was tougher than we just had last week, week 6. I felt like easy picks for me, easy pickings, but not talking about George Pickens of the Steelers. That game comes later. We start off Thursday night with the Jags against the Saints, and you already know I'm going to roll with my Jags. Always rooting for the Jags. You got to. Trevor Lawrence, this man's the real deal, okay? This guy's the real deal. The Saints, they're just iffy. I don't know what to think of them. At some points, feel like they've got a great defense. The offense was kind of clicking last week, just couldn't punch it in the end zone. Derek Carr threw for 350 yards, but only 1 touchdown. One tutty's not going to cut it anymore in this league. So, unless your defense is, incredible, let's say the Jets. But I think AFC defenses are just a different breed. Unfortunately, there's something different with them. Okay. The Jags, I think they come in here. It's hard to predict a Thursday game. It really is, because anything could happen. I know they say it any given Sunday, but for the most part, players have had proper practice. They're rested for Sunday properly. Thursday, it's pretty iffy. Now, the Jags are kind of used to this. Again, we talk about them going over to London in short notice and winning games there. I mean, they're kind of used to the short notice thing. So Thursday, I think, benefits them. The power flickered, which is kind of weird. I don't understand what that was about, but maybe it was just the light. Then we've got a really good matchup here against the Lions against the Ravens. I would, it's tough for me on this one, because it's really tough to put a team at 6-1. But then at the same point, are they going to have the same record? The Ravens might have the same record as the Lions. I just don't know if I can buy into that. In my opinion of the matter is the Lions are definitely a better team than the Ravens. The Ravens are way too injured. To be 4-2 right now, it's just something that Harbaugh wins games. That's what he does. I don't know. I don't know how he does it, but he does. In Baltimore, it makes it tough, but the Lions are road dogs. They really are, and I'm going to give it to the Lions. I can't go against them right now, and you want to know why. I think defensively the Ravens are in for a tough time. We've got Jameson Williams back, and he looked great last week. Didn't get too much action, but let me tell you, he is toasting guys. You look at the footage and you can tell he's an explosive player, and he's finally gonna get his chance. Jameson Williams gonna do very good things here in this league. He's gonna be great. Um, and the Ravens, look, they just lack receivers, and the Lions defense, man, they got dogs. That's all I can tell you. Then we have the worst. This one is the worst game of the year. I mean, this is just a fact. We've got the Raiders without Jimmy Garoppolo, the Bears without Justin Fields. It does mean there's probably going to be decent passing coming out of the Bears here, even though their backup quarterback, not great. The Raiders, I don't know if they're going to use Aiden O'Connell or Brian Hoyer. I think they still have him. I don't know who they're going to actually roll with here. But they beat the Patriots with a backup. Now, the Patriots just suck, so that's a different story. The Bears stink too, though. Do I trust more the Bears or the Raiders? Look, I think this is a game Josh Jacobs is going to have to take over. Devontae Adams is going to have to take over. The Bears don't necessarily have that going for them, right? They're going to have Roschon Johnson as starting RB. It's just I don't know. He's a rookie. I don't know if he's that guy to take over a game. Against a Raiders defensive front that's pretty stout. I mean, really stout. A terrible offensive line of the Bears. I got to go with the Raiders here. Seems wild that they're going to be 4-3 after this. Hard to pick that, but I just can't believe in the Bears right now. The offensive line is Swiss cheese. Max Crosby is going to just wreak havoc on Tyler Badgett. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. Sorry, but the Bears backup quarterback. Browns, Colts. This seems like just a great defensive matchup, honestly. Now, I will say, Gardner Minshew, you're going to be in for a tough time here. There is definitely a possibility. I'm taking a lot of away dogs here. It's tough to pick the away guys, this many of them, because at some point the home team's going to win, and this might be the game that they do. But just Gardner Minshew. Now, one thing to notice, the Browns do not, there's a chance Deshaun Watson might not play again, which they should have just put him on IR in the first place, because he's going to miss the 4 weeks anyways, but I don't know how he's still hurt. Every week he's questionable. I don't understand how he keeps not playing, but it's either you're hurt or you're not. I don't know how you're almost ready 1 week and then you're not ready 2 weeks later. But I'm going to go the Browns here just defensively. I think they are better than the Colts. So I'll give him that even if P.J. Walker starts. P.J. Walker wins some games, okay? Bills, Patriots, I didn't even talk about it. The Patriots are the worst team in the NFL right now. I mean, okay, that's a little rude. But it might be true. They're a bottom 5 team, and who thought that would have happened? No one would have thought. The Patriots, a bottom 5 team. They suck. Commanders, Giants, Saquon back. Daniel Jones, maybe not back. Makes it tough. I don't want to pick the Commanders because I think they stink, but I think I have to pick the Commanders. Unfortunately, because Tyrod Taylor stinks. The Commanders, I think, are going to finally get it figured out on defense. They did last week against a Falcons team that's not great, but Falcons, Buccaneers. I hate this game. It's tough. I really want to pick the Falcons here. I do. I've got too many away teams on my win radar here. I got to go with the Bucs here. Didn't look great last week, but again, they're facing a really tough defense, the Lions. The Falcons looked mediocre as they typically do. So I'm going to give it to the Bucs here, just for the fact that I think that offense will do pretty good things. Steelers, Rams, this is the kind of game that Mike Tomlin wins typically, just because. Now, Kyren Williams is out for the Rams, so that's tough. So they're, without, obviously, now Cam Akers and Kyren. So missing running back entirely. But you got Matthew Stafford, you got Puka Nacua, you got Cooper Kupp. It's a tough matchup there, right, for a defense. Will the Steelers be able to ball out? I don't know. I'm going to give it to the Rams just because they've looked pretty good defensively. They've really been stepping up there, and they've also looked good offensively. So I'm giving it to them. Seahawks are Cardinals in Seattle. I got to go Seahawks in Seattle. I know last time I said that was week 1 and they lost, but I got to take him here. Just the Cardinals haven't shown me much yet. Kyler's not going to be coming back, but he is practicing, so Kyler's probably back next week, which is going to be a big factor. It will be. But I just, the Seahawks, I think, have looked offensively pretty good, and the Cardinals' defense has looked terrible. So there's that. Um, Packers to going to Mile High Stadium in Denver. I'm gonna give the Packers the W here. I think this is one that I hate for the Packers because it's, I don't really like LaFleur as a coach that much. I don't. I think he's, a little overrated, carried a little bit by Rodgers. Sometimes gets a little too fancy for the play calls, and I think the team's too young for all these fancy plays, right? They're a little too young. It's an incredibly young offense. We're talking about, your wide receiver 1 being 23 years old, wide receiver 2, 23. I mean, all of these receivers are rookies or second-year players. Every single receiver. Tight end. You've got 2 rookie tight ends, which are your starting 2. It's just the offense is so incredibly young and a banged-up offensive line. It's just one that I don't like the Packers here that much, but I have to pick them. Obviously, because I'm a Packers fan, got to pick them to win against the Broncos, which have just not looked great, right? They just can't put anything together. So, give me the Packers. Then we've got the Chargers and the Chiefs. I could see the Chargers sneaking this one out. I think the spread's like 3.5. I would probably give the Chargers the advantage on that, or 5.5, I should say. I'd give the Chargers the advantage on that because they're 5.5-point underdogs. I'd give the Chargers the spread, but I'm going to go the Chiefs here. It's just one of those teams you can't pick against, unfortunately, just because I wish we could, but still not quite clicking all the way on offense. But I'm going to go with them. The Chargers just stink. They just keep losing games they shouldn't. Then we've got Dolphins, Eagles. Going to be an incredible game, actually. A really good Sunday night football game for once, probably. I think the AFC's best is definitely better than the NFC's best right now, and I think that's the Dolphins. And I think they're going to be better than the Eagles, who really have yet to get it going offensively. I mean, they've had some flashes, but I just think as a team as a whole, they've yet to click really and do great things. So I'm going to go with the Dolphins here. I think it's going to be just hard to contain them. It really is. Jeff Wilson Jr. coming back too, so you kind of have a two-headed beast back in the backfield. Even though Achan's not there, that's okay. Then we've got Monday Night Football. 49ers Vikings, one of those games that the Vikings come out and they got actually a chance of winning this one, right? 49ers might feel defeated. Debo might not play. McCaffrey might not play either. But I'm going to go with the Niners here just defensively. I think they're going to be just, Kirk Cousins is in for a rough time. They're going to be all over him. And Alexander Madison's going to fumble the ball. Let's just be real with each other. He's going to have a rough day, Alexander Madison. So, that's I guess what I got for you. These are the picks of the week. I hope you have a great week, folks. Hope your picks are going well. Uh-oh, hit the wrong